Shirt show. All right, let's go.
Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Shirt man! All right! Episode 258 of Shirt Show! We're talking with Sarah from Heck Press in Wales. Let's go!
If you're new here, my name is Dylan. I am the owner of Upstate Merch and also the host of the Shirt Show podcast. It's been a long couple days. This last week was pretty nuts. I got the opportunity to fly out and see my buddy Tyler at TC Screen Printing. Tyler and Allie were amazing hosts. Me and Christina went out and got to hang out, see their shop. Me and Tyler went on some pretty awesome hiking. We decided to try to go in a cave that Tyler went in first, and it was not looking good for me. So we turned around, came back. It was a great day out. Arkansas is gorgeous. I didn't know what to expect. Never been there. The next day, we had a podcast to do. So it was kind of cool to sit down, and Tyler was with me right next to me. We got the opportunity to talk with Sarah of Heck Press. I've been following her shop for a while. She does some amazing water-based printing. It's just her, and she just recently hired a person. So it was kind of cool to talk about that experience. But with Sarah, it was kind of nice because she's really into what she's doing. Like, she loves what she's doing. She wants the complicated stuff. She wants the fun prints. Like, she's in it for the excitement of what she's doing. So it was really cool to have that conversation with her. I'm sorry this intro looks weird. I was supposed to do this yesterday when I got home at 4:00, but what happened was I got to the airport at like 7:30 in the morning, got into the TSA line and was asking Christina, I was like, hey, I can't find my boarding pass. And she looked at my phone and was like, oh, it's because you booked a flight for like 2 weeks from now. So I felt like an idiot. I got out of line, went downstairs, tried to buy a new ticket for the day. They were all stupid expensive or like super inconvenient. Ended up buying one from Delta, got in, looked, found another one on American, canceled Delta, got on American. And I just spent the entire day at the airport. So that was fun. Got home about midnight last night. Woke up this morning to my daughter being like, hey, come get me. So I'm here in my kitchen recording this intro before my kids get here. So I really want to say thank you to all the listeners. You guys have been amazing, chiming in, giving me all kinds of feedback. The show has been awesome and fun. Keep sending me DMs. Keep sending me suggestions. Anything you guys want to see or hear, or if you have a guest suggestion, let me know. This show would not be possible without our amazing partners. Frank. It all starts with a screen. It's called screen printing for a reason. Whether it's new stretches or restretches, Frank and his team do it the best. Stop wasting your precious time and get the right tool for the right job. To find out more, go to graphicscreenfashion.com, FFFFrank.com, or greatfuckingscreens.com. Cleaning screens is no fun, but EasyWay makes it way more funner. Their line of eco-friendly chemicals will make cleaning screens a whole lot easier. Check them out at easyway.com. EasyWay is the easiest way, baby. GraphX is the source for production-ready digital art and remote art staffing. They can help any size shop from just starting out to enterprise level. Looking to add a hero to your art department? Check them out at graphxsource.com. SNS Activewear and Alpha Broder are integrating to become your premier partner for the apparel industry with one website, one purchase order, and 14 distribution centers. I don't have 14 fingers. I can't hold them up. Sorry. And over 100 beloved brands. You can streamline your ordering and hit free freight faster than ever. SNS has 1 to 2 day shipping with the lowest error rate in the industry. And that's so important. Don't forget they have combined net term limits to benefit your business like never before. But be sure to order your blanks from ssactivewear.com. Today's episode is brought to you by American Apparel, makers of the iconic 2001 tee. Soft, fitted, and always in style, this shirt has been the go-to for brands, bands, and print shops for decades. If you want a shirt people actually want to wear, start with the 2001. For over 90 years, Stahls has been the leading choice among apparel decorators for their heat transfer materials, heat press equipment, and custom transfer services. Not only do they offer some of the best products, but they are always looking to innovate and educate in our industry on all things heat press. Head over to stalls.com to order your transfers and check them out on YouTube to get taught a thing or two. If you guys like the show, if you listen to it every week, if you're new to the show, this is your first episode listening, please give us a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All these things really help me decide what you guys like, what you don't like. Also, if you want to comment, give us a review. That's great. It just helps point this show in the right direction. So I appreciate you guys. I love you. Enjoy this episode. Hey.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, not so bad. I'm like really nervous.
Why? You don't have to be nervous. It's just me and TC. He's the most gentle human I've ever met.
I tend to be nice.
Yeah.
Sarah, this is Tyler. I don't know you guys have never met. But
No. Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. Does that sound all right now? Just
try to be like maybe like 5 or 6 inches from the mic.
there?
Yeah, you're fine. We're sharing
That's all?
one today, so
Look at us.
just me and him with one.
That's super romantic.
We're so intimate. and
It
close.
can be. It can be. We went on a romantic hike yesterday.
We did, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Do you have any good hiking out by you?
Yeah, like it's amazing here. We're literally like at the kind of start of Snowdonia. Have you ever heard of Snowdonia?
Mm-mm.
It's like
No.
massive series of like mountainy, hilly ranges. It's absolutely beautiful, like Welsh valleys, and
That's
it's
awesome.
always like
Snowdonia?
Snowdonia, yeah. And there's like
There's a Muse album named after that, right?
yeah,
or a
it's
song?
like it's
Yeah,
it's
Knights of
like
Snowdonia.
a crazy part of like the country, and like we always get like usually on a Wednesday, not today, but we get like all like F-15s and is it F-15s, F-16s, whatever planes fly through, and they come down like really low. And it's only about like 10 minutes drive from here, and you can you get all these like crazy photos where you can actually be like above them, and you can like look
Really?
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just
we were-
Tom Cruise filming the new Top Gun.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's like it's really pretty here. It's just really rural, but yeah, there's so much. I mean, there's like landscape. Obviously there's landscape everywhere, but you know.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's nice when you can go somewhere that's just, it's beautiful to get out of the shop and go for a walk. And I had no idea what to expect in Arkansas. So I'm from New York, and then I flew to Arkansas to see Tyler. And
Yeah.
it's funny, I got here and then we started driving around, and I was like, this is just upstate
Just like
New York.
home.
This is exactly the same. We got to this like mountainy area, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely home. And then we went hiking, and it was gorgeous. We went through and saw some waterfalls, and we went in some caves, and it was a good time. Tyler was like, hey, we get to the top of this waterfall, we're going to go back, and there's this cave and we can go through, and then there's a waterfall in the back. And I was like, okay. So we bought headlamps before we went, because it's just like a dark cave. So we get there, we get in, and then he just like goes into this like small like crevice in a cave. And I'm like, dude, there's no way in hell I am fitting in there. I'm
made
going
it.
in there. And then he's like way up ahead of me, and I hear him yelling. He's like, I'm laying down on my stomach and crawling. And I was like, dude, there's no fucking way. Like, I quit now.
I got like 3 more feet, and I just was like, and we're done. Like when I was a younger man, maybe.
Yeah.
We turned around and got out of there and said, we caved today.
I would have left his body. I would have not been able to get to him. I would have just been like, well, sorry, bud. Like,
It's the way it goes
I
sometimes.
get spooked.
I'm gonna steal your truck and drive to the airport.
There you go.
Leave your body.
Well, so you would have to come to my body, get the keys,
No.
and then steal my truck.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks.
But if you're like you were in head first, your like keys were in your trousers,
Or just
you'd be
reach
fine.
just
You
enough to
He's
get
like,
the keys.
hey, sorry, buddy.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's fine. That's fair enough.
Yeah. So what's going on at the shop? What time is it there? Because we tried to do this a little earlier, because if we would have recorded at normal time, it would have been like 9:30 your time.
Yeah, it's like 5:30 now. So
Is it your end of work day, or are you work until
Yeah.
I'm done?
I've been in here I was in here till like 1 o'clock this morning, and then I was in here till like I don't know midnight or something the day before. It's just like really busy at the minute, so
So you just
trying
go for
to-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just sort of like yesterday I came in and I did like a day, and then I went home to see my kids like for dinner, and then I came back in. So that was
I haven't had those days in a long time.
Yeah, the long days.
I don't know if I think I kind of do miss it a little bit, where I would work and then go home, have dinner with the kids, put them to bed, and then go back to the shop at like 9 and then come home at 1. I feel like I get a good amount done in that time because there's nobody there to bother me. But that's not necessarily the case for you. It's just you bothering yourself, right? Like, who else is there anyone else in the shop when you're there, or?
No, I mean, there's only really me in the shop full time anyway. I only hired somebody like a couple of months ago. Mel, who is like the fucking best thing that's happened to my life.
Nice.
I love you, Mel. She's on holiday this week, and I'm like, Mel, come back. But yeah, she's in like a couple of hours every day. She's a mom. She's a single mom. She's got 2 kids, and she's just like on it. She's like just completely sorted, like all my admin out. She's on the emails. No emails start with, sorry, it's taken me so long to reply.
That's the worst.
So on my own. I just, I'd be in here all day, and then like I get home, have dinner, and then I'd be like working till like 11, 12, and it's not being good. But I mean,
you can't sustain at that.
No, that'll catch up with you after a while.
Oh, it has. It has.
Well, we can tell because you said you just hired this new Mel person a couple months ago, and now you're already
you needed her
pleading to get her back.
Yeah. I mean, like my husband wants to be the odd time to help me run jobs, and he usually tries and gets in like once a week to do all my screens. But he's like self-employed, so he's got his own shit going on. So. And it's kind of better for him to do his thing and me to do my thing. Really. Yep. So
let's step back a little bit. Tell us your story. How did you get involved with printing, and why did you take it to where you are now? Obviously, you got a sweet shop. I love your
NHM looks nice.
Your prints and what you're doing, and you're crushing it by yourself.
Really.
So what's the story?
I moved over. When did I start? I started in like 2016, the end of 2016. And like I'm from Ireland, and I moved over. I was working like a shitty kind of like government job, and they offered like some redundancy payment, and I just took it just because I was like all day, every day. I was like, oh, this is like the most boring thing. I was literally copying like information from like this screen to like that screen, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
ChatGPT and AI does
it for us now. We don't need that anymore.
Wild, yeah. So I took the money, and then I moved over here to be with my now husband, and I just decided to start a business, and that business was screen printing. And I mean, I've always like worked in like art, like I'm an artist, painter, musician, like whatever, the usual kind of shit. And he was on tour with his band, and he went on tour with a cool like doom band called Euphemomet, and they've got this amazing shop called Malleus Rock Art Lab. So they do all these like really cool like posters. It's cool, yeah. They do these really fucking cool posters. And he's like, oh, look at this shit that the boys have done. And I was like, that's cool. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a screen printer. And I literally like went onto eBay and was like, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy this press. And that was it, really. So
that was just like some quick inspiration.
You went
right for it.
I'm just the type of person, like if I don't make a decision, like if I don't jump when it's scary, like I just don't jump. Like I just don't. Like I know that like whenever I feel like I have to do something, that I have to do it. Like I can't think too much about it. I like talk myself out of so much stuff otherwise. So,
but I mean, it's worked out.
Yeah.
Right.
It seems like it was a good decision. So
I have no idea how I went from there to here.
What press did you buy off eBay? Like what was it a used press, a new press? Was there brand, no brand?
It was just this random, thing. It only had 3 arms. One of them was missing. It didn't have like a, do you know, like on like a regular manual press, like it's got like the ball thing that like clicks it into place.
Yeah.
So you can like click.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't have that. So it just like spun around and because it only had 3 arms, it was like really wonky, like, and it would just spin around all the time.
So do you just hope that it's in the right spot when it comes down?
I mean, like, it wasn't like I had no idea what I was doing. I look back at my prints, I'm just like,
no
how
better.
the
She was
fuck
like,
did
"This
I
is
do
perfect."
Yeah, that's great.
What's registration?
It's an armpit print if you're not paying attention.
that? Yeah. So I end up, that was a nightmare. I ended up getting another press then, and that was just like, I don't want to talk about that one. That one was even worse. And then I bought a cruiser, which I bought like brand new. And
was that back when they were like $3,000? Like they were like super affordable when they came out. They're substantially more expensive now. But
I was going to say $3,000 seems high from what I remember.
Maybe they were $2,000. They were so affordable. Yeah,
it was less than like $5,000 all in.
Yeah.
So yeah, but at the time, like I had that in a garage that was like 3 by 3.3 meters. So like I didn't have a tunnel dryer. I was like curing everything with like a flash.
Nice.
It was insane. Like you couldn't get around the press. I was also pregnant at the time. It was brutal. Yeah, so I didn't realize I was pregnant whenever I got the cruiser, and I like built it myself. And
I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who's been pregnant and printing.
You're first.
Allison.
Yeah, it's awful.
She was printing while she was pregnant?
She was doing live events with me, running a big digital press.
Okay.
7 months pregnant. Oh.
So what was that like for you? Like, what's that experience like, being pregnant and running a print shop?
I mean, it's not great.
Or starting a print shop, I would say.
But yeah, it's fine. Like, I think I've just got like something wrong in my brain that like doesn't let me give up on things.
We all have that problem in our brain. You're fine.
I know.
That's a superpower. It's not a bug; it's a feature.
We get our asses beat in this industry every single day, and we still come back and do it. So we all have that mentality.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like if you haven't cried under your press, like sat on the floor and cried under it, you're not really a screen printer. Like, I've sat and cried under. I sat and cried on this whenever I first got it installed. And I was like, what have I done?
If you haven't used tears to pre-wet your water-based screens, then you're not doing it right.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult. Like, I printed up until I don't know, maybe a week or something before I had Joey. It was my first, and my second I manually printed 4 days before I had Rory. So yeah, I mean, in that interim, so I had my first kid, and then we had to move basically because, well, we didn't really have like a house. We were in like this tiny like annex, and then my workshop was in this tiny garage, and we ended up moving. My husband's place of work, he works at a music studio. That sort of changed. His situation changed, so we moved to Wales, bought a house with a garage, bigger garage. COVID happened, shirt show happened, so I was in like my second garage, putting on my cruiser whenever that all happened. And there's like,
and then it went off.
Yeah, pretty much. I was only there for a year, and it was like really cool. There is actually like a screen printing meme I've seen like floating around the odd time. It's of a cruiser, and then there's like a big massive window, and there's like sheep looking in. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I just see it the odd time, but that was my shop basically, because it was like on the side of like of a hill, and all the sheep would just come up to the window. So I'd be printing, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, there's been one like right there.
Yeah, seriously.
Wales. So yeah, I was only there for a year, and then
real quick, we had a discussion I feel like oddly the last couple episodes we've had people that have started within that window, like the just before COVID window. And then the discussion was that basically like when I started was like 2008, 2009, which was like
economic
recession time.
Yeah.
And then like there's like a new wave of printers that are basically going through that again. But again, my whole thing back then was I was 100% ignorant to it. Like I didn't feel it. If anything, I felt like from starting from nothing to growing, I felt growth. Like, do you obviously feel that because you went from some eBay press to the MHM you have behind you, like something's working.
Yeah, I mean, I just started working for bands because I was in a band and I know a lot of bands, and my husband worked with bands, so it was just sort of like it just started as a hobby, and just kind of, I suppose you just get good or you give up, and I'm not a person who gives up whenever I like put my teeth in things, really. And yeah, it just got more and more. I mean, at the time I was working, actually. I was working part-time on like Heck Press, and I was working in a school as well. So I was doing like Heck Press in the evenings and weekends, and it just got like crazy, you know, like you get home from work and then you're like in the garage till like midnight, and then you're up like, and it's just like that. And I couldn't like sustain it at all. So yeah, I ended up going full time. Actually, I went with my husband's band to America for like 5 weeks to do tour management and like handle all the merch for them.
Where did you go?
Everywhere. We started in like Salt Lake, which was amazing. Yeah, to just
Salt Lake is
like,
one of my favorite places of all time. Yeah.
Oh, just like the fucking mountains are just insane.
Exactly. That's where
we basically just did like loop.
Okay. Like all out west.
Yeah, we went. Sorry, my directions are like so bad. So
it's okay. I would have no idea where I was over there. So just
yeah. So
I just want to know which ones stood out to you. Like what places were like? Obviously, you said Utah was great. What else was great for you?
Denver was really cool. New York. I don't know, like there was just so many different places. Like, it's just like when you're somewhere like here and then you go somewhere like America and you drive 10,000 miles, it's like you see so many different landscapes, and it's just like, it's crazy because you'll be looking out and you'll be like, fucking hell, like, this landscape is so flat. Like, it's so flat. Like, I can see, like, right. I feel like I can see, like, right to the edge of the earth. And, like, you know, the UK is just like, woo, like, yeah, I you know, I haven't thought about it in a while. But, yeah, there were just so many cool places.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did.
We
did that for like 5
the thing
weeks.
too, back to kind of what we were talking about with growth in the beginning is, it's exactly like you said, that you use who you know. Like you were in the band, and you had, you know, your husband does the bands and all this other stuff, and it's kind of like if you have a big pot of people to work from in the beginning, it's just nonstop growth because you kind of can exhaust all those resources. Like him doing the music stuff and you doing printing full time, like, do you get a lot of work from him or from references from him?
Yeah, we like share bands, I guess. So like quite often if he's got a band, he'll be like, oh yeah, well, if you need any merch, like Sarah has a shop sort of thing. So yeah, it's sort of like that. And then I don't really know where everybody else has come from, really. I suppose just because we kind of started with the band stuff, so it's always been kind of like tricky, big, and water based from like the beginning. So just like unnecessarily difficult.
Just making it harder for yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, I suppose it's just come from there. But like now, like we do stuff for all over. I do so much stuff for like Norwegian bands. Like that's come from like literally one guy in Norway called Eric got me to do some shirts for him, and he's literally in like 4 bands, so that I print for his bands, and then like those are the bands know people, because it's actually like, you know, like music scenes are just like quite small and intrinsic, and you kind of go where your mates go, really. And
it's funny, Bill, my production manager and also like one of my best friends, used to manage Spencer Gifts. Like he would train employees. Well, anyway, he had this guy come in once that was always in, and he would always talk up like how he was in a band and his band was so good. It was obviously some like punk kid locally who thought his band was way bigger than it was or whatever. Well, the running joke, and we still talk about it to this day, is Bill was like, oh yeah, how's your band or whatever? And he's like, well, our drummer's Norwegian. So And it's like, like that was his thing to be like, well, obviously we're the greatest band ever because our drummer's Norwegian. And I was like, just you saying Norwegian instantly made me have that feeling.
I have one employee here at TC who works on my team that travels. And about a year ago, he goes, "Hey, I got to tell you something." He's like, "I don't know if it'll ever matter." He's like, "But I'm not allowed to go to Norway." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I guess he was over there doing this, like he did multi-country bike ride over in Europe and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, I got a ticket when I was over there and I never paid it. And now apparently I can't go in the country without getting arrested." And I was like, "That's good to know. We don't do much Norway travel, but it's okay." So can never go to Norway, if anybody wonders. So.
He definitely did something way worse than that.
I think it's not just a ticket.
Yeah. He left a wife and child and
he's got a family.
Murdered somebody on the way out. So you go from the eBay press to the small place. How do you get to where you are now?
So in my other place, so my garage at my house, we had that. This place came up. I literally just found out I was pregnant again. And so I was just like, now's a great time to move shop.
Yeah, it's the best time.
So I remember my husband saying at like the time, like, "Do you think it's like a good idea?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm doing it." So with the full conviction of a very hormonal woman, I moved my whole shop in here.
Everyone is way more motivated when there's a hormonal woman printer around.
That's how it goes. That's the old adage.
It's a thing, right? That's on plaques or something.
I don't know. I just thought it was a good idea. I mean, my shop was like too small. I was having issues. I needed more space. My kitchen had like 10 boxes in it at once. Like the stuff that was in the garage was in the cellar. It was in the living room. Like the house was just getting taken over. Like I had to move out. And this place was only like 10 minutes drive. It's pretty cheap. It had 3-phase. It was big enough to put an auto in it. And I sort of knew that like after I had like my second kid, that like the way things were going, that like I wouldn't, like I don't know if I'd be able to like print manually after I had my second kid. Just because it's just so exhausting and you know how much work I was doing. So yeah, I just took it. And
I mean, it's also a lot too, you know, like you have small children and that takes a lot out of anybody. And to be like, well, I got to manually print shirts all day and be a mom has got to be a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
That's why you called it Heck Press.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That's right.
Yeah. Good call, to be fair. Yeah, no, it is really hard work. Like my kids, like not last night, the night before, were given off because I wasn't home to like see them, and you feel terrible. But then you've also kind of got to work when you got to work. You know, my husband was in the studio for like the last week with a band, so like he wasn't home. He was home in the mornings, but he wasn't home like at night because he finishes up really late. So like I've got to finish earlier whenever he's in the studio. So I'm like behind, so that whenever he's not in the studio, and he's had like 2 albums this month, like I've got to be here to like catch up.
Right.
So yeah, it is. I mean, it's not ideal, is it? But you know, and I never really wanted to buy an auto until like both my kids were in school, because I kind of wanted to keep like a lid on things. But like that is like I just can't do that. Like I have found that really impossible to keep a lid on growth. You know, you talk a lot about like having the shop that you want to have, and I kind of do have the shop I want to have, but I now need somebody else to come and print with me, because like I just can't do the amount of work that we've got. And now I've got Mel. She is like getting the work in quicker, and I'm like, shit, what are these things for? And she's like, oh, these are the garments I ordered for X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, what? They paid? You invoiced them? You did all that? Like, done. And it's just like,
Isn't that the best feeling ever?
Mel is like the best person ever.
That's the
Mel.
second time we've referred to how great Mel is.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, she is. She is so good.
You better take care of Mel.
yeah,
I am.
So
I am.
she's handling, like your front end, your office and stuff. And now you want somebody to help you in, I guess, back
Like production,
with production.
I think so. Like, because we do like a lot of like small runs here. So like probably like 50 to 100 pieces is still what we do. Like I'm not like interested in working like contract with like big bands or like that sort of thing. Like I love working with like smaller like underground bands and just trying to like, I don't know, just like get them decent merch, and
It's also like the best profit margins, like the 50 to 100 to 200 pieces is you're making the most money on all the print jobs. So stay there. That's the sweet spot.
I love it. It's just, you have to have, for the sort of bands we work with, which is like doom and black metal bands and death metal bands, it's like, they want like a 2-color front and a back and then sleeves, so like different sleeves, or like a 6-color front and like a 2-color back. So it's like, you're making like a lot of screens for like
50 shirts.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
And like I've only got 50 screens here. So, we custom mix, like, I say custom mix, like.
The royal we, yeah. We just went through this. Yeah, we just did an episode with Alpine the other day, and the entire episode he kept saying we. And then a few times he's like, I don't know why I keep saying we. It's just me. And I was like, that's the entrepreneur in you when you're talking to the general public. You never want to say, well, I do this, I do this, I do this.
Smoke and mirrors, man. Make it seem bigger than it is.
Me in the warehouse of me.
Yeah, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel less alone. But
tear rolls down your cheek.
Talking to herself all day, no big deal.
Yeah, like the prep takes an insane amount of time, and I'm like so anal about it, like about everything being like perfect color matches and like exact specifications and stuff. So I could probably do with somebody taking that off me, because I just love being at the press, like printing. So, and I don't print every day because like a lot of days, like I've just got so much bullshit to deal with in terms of prep. So.
Well, there's a few things with that though, too. Like, do you feel like you're the kind of person where you are too in the weeds with the ink mixing and the pre-press, where you're going to have a hard time letting it go, or you're going to micromanage the shit out of whoever you hire? You are nodding before I finish the question. So like you were like, I am definitely going to ruin this human being, whoever gets hired for this position.
I'd have to just be like the perfect person. Do you know what I mean? Like Mel is the perfect person.
Yeah.
She's so good at what she does. Like, I didn't think anybody would be able to come on and me being like, here's my mountain of like information and crazy shit, and our pricing for this, our pricing for that, because we have to like have different pricing structures, different ways of shipping, whether we're shipping to like EU mainland, Norway, Northern Ireland, UK, like whatever. There's so much different stuff, and I know it all, and she's literally just like been amazing about it. She's made some mistakes, but nothing that's cost more than like 50 quid at a time. So I'm like, whatever. I've actually been like really chill with her, I think. Like, I thought I was going to be a fucking nightmare, but I've been okay, I think. She's still here. So.
Yes. Well, that's what you think. She said she was going on a holiday, but she ain't fucking coming back. So I don't know.
Her cats while she's away, so she will.
I don't know how this was for you, Tyler, but for me, it took me years to like, and still to a degree, to like let go of expectations and
just to let go
of responsibility of certain things. Yeah. Like you were saying with Mel, that was kind of my first like, oh shit moment of like, I was buried I had like 100 something emails every day. And I'm not Tyler, where I have what is your count up to right now?
It's not a real number.
It's insane. I don't like it.
It's not a real number. It's so much junk.
I'm the guy where I want to clear my inbox every day. Like my email is never above like 20 emails in my inbox. Like if I had more than that, I would be like staying late.
This is across all email boxes, and it's mostly junk. So Dylan gives me a hard time for this, but he uses Post-it notes still. So we can talk.
Okay.
4,414. It's a big red
It's
number.
disgusting. It makes
But
me
it's
want to
just
throw up.
junk. It's not real people. These are.
anyway,
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, seriously.
I try. Oh man, I go on kicks.
I do a purge quite often of unsubscribing from things. But anyway, hiring that person for the office was one of those things that I felt like I honestly was going to have to sit over them for months of being like, well, this, like you said, like this is how this pricing works, or this is how this thing works, or this is the decision I would make if a customer came to me and said, can I do this or should I do this? Because a lot of it is kind of your personality and going off the cuff of like, how can I help this person and how would I go about this? And it's hard to let go of that power. Like I even now have, Leanna or Sarah comes to my office and they're like, well, I went ahead and made an executive decision of I was going to give them this price or I was going to do this turnaround or this or this. And I'm like, part of me at first is like, why the fuck would you do that? But then the other part of me is like, no, that was the right call. Yeah. Like that's where I would have landed anyway. So
yeah.
Or even sometimes it's not where you would land. Like that's what I had to get over. It's like, that is not how I would have done that, but it is not a bad way to do it. Like it still got the desired outcome. Customers still got what they needed. We still made money as a company. And I go, all right, like letting go is part of that. Is part of going, my idea is not always the best idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're finding that with Mel, the amazing Mel.
The amazing Mel.
Like I'm finding so much more. Like there's been some jobs that I would just be like, I cannot be arsed with this. Like I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. I would like probably just ignore it. Or I don't know, just like I know that it would be so much work to get it finalized and that I'd get the gist that the person was a tire kicker, that they weren't going to actually place the order. Mel doesn't see things like that. Mel's just like, well, it's a job, we're going to get it through. And so she's like booked me some orders that I would not have done because I didn't have the headspace to do the sort of like, the research on them for what the customer
that's the thing
wanted.
Is it's not that you won't print the job because you're fully capable of printing the job. It's that you didn't want to do all the research and stuff up front to get the job to where it was ready for you to print.
Yeah, totally. And she doesn't see it that way. So, like even like simple stuff, like I don't do tote bag orders. I just don't do them because I don't have any tote bag plans, right? I've only ever been asked for a couple. I usually just like send them out or just say we don't do them. But she's booked them in, and then we did like just 200 tote bags for a customer, and I got like a friend to do them, and they've come back now and placed like a $2,000 order for like really expensive hoodies that that she suggested, and they were like, yeah, cool. And do you know what I mean? I'm just like, I would never be able to get this job over the line because I wouldn't believe that they would actually pay for it. Like, I'm going to do all this work. I'm going to get to the point where I say, okay, that's going to be like, 40 quid each or whatever. And then they just never get back to me.
Right. You priced them out because you didn't really want to get there.
No, not price them out. It's just what they want is like too much for a small quantity. Like I wouldn't go out my way to like price anybody out. Like if I can't do it, I'll just say like I can't do it. But yeah, she just doesn't see things like that at all. So she's ended up like booking some really cool jobs. Like we had this job before Christmas. And it's crazy. I've not even put it on my Instagram, but it's like it was like really expensive long sleeves, really expensive hoodies, and it was like a 7-color front, 5-color arms, right? 2 different arms, 4-color, 5-color back, and it was 30 pieces each.
You know what's hilarious to me is you just said how you turn people down left and right for tote bags.
I would take tote bags all day.
And you're like, no, this dude wants 7-color bolt sleeve, water base, 8-color front, gold foil neck tags, fucking folded bagged.
Just
like,
keeps going.
Hand signed. And you're like, all day, baby.
Sounds
Let's
good.
do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Bring it in.
47 screens for 30 shirts. Let's go.
No, I was just I was just like,
Oh,
these
you want
people aren't
black ink
going to
on a
pay
tote
for
bag?
it.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't do that. I don't do that stuff.
I am going to buy some tote bag plans now that we're starting to get more orders from my guests. But yeah, I like tried to price them out, but it was like an insane cost, like per
It's an
garment.
insane
It was
job.
it was insane. And Mel kind of pushed it. Well, if they want a price, we'll give them a price. And I was just like, they're not going to go. This is going to be a waste of time, but whatever. And she got it fucking booked. I was like, what? She's got this way of like talking to people that like I just don't. And
I want to meet Mel. Can you call Mel?
Is Mel available for like remote work? Or?
No, nobody's having Mel. Nobody's having Mel. She is mine. She's amazing. So yeah, she booked it. She invoiced them. They paid, and I was like, shit, I've got to print this job now. And she even charged them for stuff I wouldn't usually. Like, she charged them for like separations and all this sort of stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, it's great. She's like really in my corner, I guess. And yeah, so hiring Mel has been like the best thing ever.
No, I don't think you've had to really think about this yet because you're just now getting to that point. But do you think that in your off time, you could write some really well thought out SOPs for the next production people? Like if you did hire someone to help in the shop or help in the darkroom or whatever, you could be like, this is the Sarah way.
Yeah, here's the book.
Like, this is how I'm expecting this to be done. Because the problem that I feel like a lot of shops have, myself included, is you kind of just hire somebody and you like bring them into a room and you're like, well, this is what you're going to be doing. And then you have some guy who's working that position now. And it's like, well, train him. And he's just showing him his way, not necessarily the upstate way or the Heck Press way or the TC way. Mm-hmm. And then it just continues on. Like we had Tony Palmer on and talked about this, and it was
Tony.
I got questions for you from Tony here coming up.
Oh my god!
But I can't remember what he called it. It was just like how it's like. Christine, do you remember what Tony called that? Where it was like you hire somebody and then you give them like 80% of the knowledge, and then the next guy gives them
skill dilution.
Skill dilution. There you go.
That is like Tony Palmer bingo. That is.
Yeah. So basically that, like, so I would suggest if I could go back and start over, that's what I would do. I would do very detailed SOPs for each position. And then as you hire them, they know this is what Sarah expects. So have you given any thought to that at all?
I've thought about it. I know it's, I know it's something that I need to do, just like along with everything else.
I just think it's one of those things for people that are, kind of picky or anal about a certain topic. Like it definitely sets the expectation, I guess is the best way to say it. Because then you have like documentation of like, hey, did you read through this? Do you agree to this? Is this what your position entails? Mm-hmm. And then going forward. And then if they're not doing what you said, then it's kind of like, well, we need to refer back to the job description, to the SOP. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I've been really thinking this year now about like hiring somebody. So when I get around to that, like I will have to have something like that. Because I felt like it was so much to dump on Mel, like what I give to her. But she's
it sounds like she picked it up,
capable person,
and ran with it.
Yeah, she's amazing. And then she was like, "Oh, I used to work in like a print shop." She's from like South Africa. I used to work in a print shop in South Africa, and she was a graphic designer as well. That's what she did in university, and she used to run like large format print machines. I'm like, what?
That's good to know now.
She also can't go to Norway.
I heard she could perform.
She's banned from Norway.
Heart surgery. She's got a license to kill. All the things, really. Mel is multifaceted.
I don't expect to get like another Mel. Like I really just got really lucky.
Yeah.
What you're going to find out is someday some assassins are going to show up at the shop, and then Mel's going to be like, no. And then all of a sudden she's going to disarm them, break their neck. And you're going to find out she's like witness protection. Like,
She's Melbourne.
yeah, she's
That's funny. There you go. There you go.
Tyler says some great dad jokes.
It is.
Yeah.
It's been dad jokes for
really
days
good.
over
I love
here.
it.
It's so
I
good.
love it.
Why water base?
Yeah, that was going to be my big question. Is you like to? It's punishment.
Do you think
for
it's?
me.
I feel
am
like this is a screen printer.
Self-punisher.
This is a screen printer stereotype, but I feel like every shop I know that is very band driven is more often than to be a water-based print shop.
Mhm.
And it's like a lot of the band shops that I know that are water-based are dealing with like metal bands, or I don't know, just like alternative bands or something, you know. It's like more if you're like into country music or rock or something, it's like plastisol's fine. But it's
Yeah.
like when you get into this like niche market of bands, it's like they're expecting water-based printing. Is that kind of why you got involved?
Customer driven or Sarah driven?
Sarah driven. I can't I'm not gonna lie and be like, I had this whole plan. Like, I don't, like, I'm not a planner. Like, I am just the kind of like,
That's me too.
I kind
We
of
had
just
this
do
discussion.
like the next thing. I just like the idea of it. Whenever I started, I obviously read a lot about water based and plastisol inks, and I just kind of decided that I was going to give water based a go. I don't think I read enough to know that it was a pain in the arse. So,
but you did it in the best way possible. Like, you started with it,
Yeah,
and
you
you
did it.
learned
That's
it.
all
Like,
you
if
know.
you were to started with plastisol and then been like, "Oh, I want to do water based," you probably would have given up and been like, "Fuck this," and just went back to plastisol.
Yeah, like I've always used it. So I started with like HSA, sort of like high solid stuff, and obviously printed a lot of white. So I mean, that's as hardcore as it gets, really, isn't it? Like, you just, you know, if you master the white, everything else is fine, because it is the worst thing to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the whole reason why we do.
Sorry.
All right.
Just that kind of day.
Do you need a rub? Do you need a drink?
Do you need a what? What are you? What's going on over here?
I'm just trying to be polite.
Very romantic.
We hang out a lot. It's fine.
Now I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know. I'm never going to forget what you just said.
Well, I was going to say that's why we do the shirt show, spring breaks, and summer campuses, because it's a white ink camp, and it's the foundation, it's the base, it's the. If you don't have that dialed, the rest will go to hell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So having a great underbase and having just even great white prints in general is a necessity for everything else. So
were you layering up high solids? Like, were you doing white base with like high solids tops from the beginning?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Gosh. I mean, I definitely did a lot of like PFP at the start. I didn't know anything about underbases. I didn't know what an auto was. I literally knew nothing. Like, I had this little book that I wrote things down in, like what I was going to do and like how to burn a screen and stuff. But like, legitimately, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I have no idea how I made those first prints. I have no idea how I printed transparencies. Like, I have no idea how I made halftones. Nothing. No idea. I just
trial and error,
I guess.
Maybe that's the best way to learn water base. It's just go.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Pure ignorance.
Because you know, whenever
listen to anybody.
Whenever any of us adds a water-based product to what we do, because Dylan and I both print with some water-based, some plastisol, is, you know, we feel like we have to learn everything from the ground up every time we add a new water-based product. But, you know, we're always comparing it to plastisol. How we do a plastisol. And the thing is, you don't have that background, so you just are figuring it out. You don't have to think about what you're comparing it to constantly, which I think actually is a superpower.
But also, I think and this is me, like, coming from plastisol to dabbling in water base and having very intimidating friends who are, oh, water base this, water base that, and then you're like, oh, well, I had to PFP a white, or I had to make an underbase screen with a top white and this, and you're like, oh, these, and then you try water base a similar way where you're like, I'm going to use this screen for an underbase, I'm going to use this screen for top, and you're like, why does my white look nowhere as good as this friend, this,
The
master,
Valid
whatever.
Eric, or is that
Yeah. And then,
they're
I'm trying
fantastic at
not
it,
to
right?
say who.
They're super good at it, though.
Anyway, I'm just saying that, like, and then you talk to them and they're like, oh, I do 3 white screens.
Yeah. They bake the cake differently. It's
And
really
it's
interesting.
like, oh, well, that's how you get a great white is you print it 900 times. Like, you're layering it up.
Yeah, I mean, I've never printed plastisol white. I do print some jobs plastisol now. But I had to get Tony Palmer out for like 2 days to teach me how to print plastisol, because I was just like, I've got no idea how to mix it, how to clean it, I had like literally no idea. And I did it for a job because I got this job and it was really complicated and it was across like a load of different types of garments. And I spoke to Tony about it and he was like, yeah, I think plastisol would be good for it. So like he came and like taught me how to use plastisol. So I do it for the odd jobs now, but like I'm still just like, how do I clean this again? Like, what do I do with this? So it's funny. It's just like what you're used to.
Well, that's the other thing too with shops who start in a house or a garage or whatever. Like water-based is a great option for printing because it's easy cleanup. They don't need all these chemicals. They're not ruining things. You know what I mean? You can just rinse it with water and it's done.
Yeah, that's probably one of the main reasons I decided to start with it, actually. So, but yeah, plastisol is definitely helpful for some stuff. Like I ran it on a job last week because I think it was like 200 shirts and I was in there on my own. It was really hot. And, like I didn't want to have to run like a load of white bases. And obviously with plastisol, you only need one base, don't you? You don't need like 2 bases. Where a lot of time, if you're running like tops in like HSA or like mid solids or whatever, like you need to put 2 bases underneath it. And on my press, it's like an 810, but I usually just run like if I run a base, like I'll run it on like a 77 or 90 and I'll just run it twice. Right. So, I'm pretty much always going to run the press round twice if I'm doing like any kind of like sim process job. Unless I'm going to run it with plastisol. So
yeah, that's another thing that's nice too about having that sweet spot, like you said, of like 50 to 100 pieces or whatever. Like there's all these people that are like, I would never run my press around more than, once or twice or whatever. And it's like, dude, it's easier on somebody who wants to order 24 shirts with white ink to do 2 spins than it is to burn 2 screens, set up 2 sets of squeegees and plug bars, like this whole thing. It's like, I'll just run it around twice.
Extra 45 seconds.
Yeah, it's like not a huge deal. Like chill out.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not like, I mean, I don't really care. Like as long as I get the job done. I never run don't think I ever run 3 whites on things though. It's always like really bright after 2. I suppose it depends what we use. Like we use Magnacolors a lot.
Magna's great.
B2 white. So, and I love that. Obviously it can be difficult to work with, but when it gets difficult, I just take it out and just put some more water in it and then stick it back in the screen,
That Magna product does a lot better job of not drying out than some of the other water-based whites. It's great. It's what we use here because it just lasts a lot longer on the screen. You still get drying issues, but for the most part, it lasts way longer.
Yeah, it's like so smooth as well. Like feels like so nice.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did have some listener questions that kind of pertain to what we've been talking about, so I do want to touch on those real quick. Tony Palmer did ask, will she ever switch to plastisol to make her life easier?
Thanks, Tony.
Fuck off, Tony. You know the answer to that.
Best answer.
Fuck off, Tony. Got it. We'll make sure he hears that one. That won't get cut out at all.
Let's see. And then we were kind of just talking about this one a little bit. HND Merch said, how do you print red discharge where it will stay bright and vibrant for a while?
Oh, like after curing?
Yeah, like I've had that too before with different brands that I've used before I kind of landed with what I have now, where like I will print a color and it'll be nice and bright and vibrant and whatever, and then I will wash it a few times and it just dulls right out. Like, is that in the printing technique? Is that more with the ink manufacturer? Is it a lower grade something? Or what is your take on that?
I think that you need to put like fixative in discharge inks. Anything that's bright, we put like EcoFix in, and it was actually, was it Subcooler? Who was it? I think it was. Told me to try EcoFix XL, and it's amazing. Like this shirt I'm wearing now has probably been washed like, I don't know, like 9-10 times, and it literally still looks as bright, and it is red. It is like,
is it just an additive to add in? Is it like a
you
6% by
add
weight
it
or
in.
something?
Yeah, you put it in 5%, and it makes like a huge difference. I'll show you. This is my mate's shirt, and he's going to be like really happy that like I put it on the shirt show. So I'm going to show you. But it's still like,
that is very
like
bright.
Super vibrant.
Yeah.
It's like
that green too.
It's all discharge, like 7-color discharge. It's for you, Jack at Old Elton. He'll be so happy. But yeah, I just put like the EcoFix in, and it makes like a huge difference to the wash fastness. So you put in anything. If it's like grey or something, I don't. White, I don't. But if it's got red in it, yellow,
right,
like bright green, like it's getting EcoFix.
I've heard from certain manufacturers to just add more pigment. And that might just be them being like, I don't have an answer for you, but maybe add more pigment.
Just put more in there.
Right. Have you done anything like that? Or is that just kind of bullshit?
I mean, sometimes if the color's like really bright, I'll add extra pigment because with the Magnacolors discharge, you can add up to like 6% by weight. So, and usually you're only adding like 1 to 2%. So, I mean, I think it probably does, because it's more color, isn't it? But
yeah, but it's one of those things too, is it's like, do you add it in and it looks good on the first couple prints, but then you're just washing all that pigment out? Like there's got to be a point when there's like, well, it's like people who eat a shitload of vitamins and then you just piss out 90% of it. It's like at some point adding more vitamins isn't doing
the benefit,
anything.
or you just
Yeah, I mean, like I just put in what the mix says, to be honest, and like the wash tests are really super good with like a fixative or EcoFix or whatever, and then obviously having like the correct curing time and all that. Like I mean, I have had issues in the past, like when I had like a smaller dryer, like a little Vastex X2, and I'd have to put things through twice.
Right.
But my dryer now is a lot bigger. So, like, yeah, I honestly don't get any problems with like discharge washing out now. And even I'm surprised by about how bright it stays. I print stuff on like 90T, whatever that is, like 230 and like 77s a lot of the time. So I'm not using like really low mesh to get that sort of like penetration. I mean, as long as the ink stays wet and you've got enough of it, like, I don't really think I've had that many problems with it, So.
Do you have any tips on that, on some of those? Like, are you adding like an additive? Like, I think in the Alpha series that I'm using for Matsui, there's like a hat trick or something that gets added to keep it from drying in the screen. Or is there anything like that they're using with Magna, or is there your own home remedy? Like, I know some people that do this like mixture of, which is kind of weird, but I've never tried it, but I have the stuff to try it, which was like this. It's like a certain percent of 409, like the cleaner. With water, and it makes the screen, you're moistening it up, but it's also making it a little slick.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I haven't, but I have heard, I know like Brandon from Independent he puts stuff on his screen, like before he prints. I mean, we like
just pre-wetting the screen.
Yeah, lube it up a bit before the ink goes in. But yeah, just foggers, really. I've got foggers and they just run. And you just know, like, if you're looking at it and it's just climbing up the squeegee, it's like, it's just got to come out for a minute. It's got to have a load of water mixed back in, and it's got to go back in the screen.
Do you have an actual MHM fogger system, or is it like a reptile fogger?
I've just got, like, probably just see. I don't know if you can see them
I
there.
can kind of see it down
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
It's just like, I've just got like a couple of those.
So you're just fogging
So
the rooms,
this
or you
side-
fogging the screens individually?
Screens.
Screens
No,
individually.
they've just got like.
Oh, okay, I see that now.
They just come in and like clip in, and I just turn them on.
Smart.
And that's it. So
It's cool.
yeah, and I can run like multiple hoses off like one of them. So if I've got like a couple of screens on, I just turn them on. It does a great job.
When you're
if
down
it
there
gets
hooking
really
up a
hot-
hose, you can have a good cry.
Yeah.
She gets under there, and that's when she cries. The fogger. It's
She
her
blames
time.
it on the fog. It's just so
the
wet
fog.
down
Just
here.
the moisture in the air.
I don't usually. I don't know if I've cried about a job in a while. Actually, yeah, I definitely
You
cry
will when you
the
do
press
that job
button.
that you were talking
7
about.
colors on each sleeve. That's freaking Mel.
Oh no, that's done. That's done.
Oh.
Do you know
How did
what's
that come
funny?
out?
That those 2 jobs took me like maybe a day to run, and I earned so much money from them. They were amazing. They were great. They printed perfectly. I had no issues at all.
I want to ask you a question about that while it's popped in my head is, do you find that with your branding and social media and whatever else you're doing with, like, I find myself sometimes when I get a job like the one you just described, where it's a 7 color both sleeves, this whole complicated thing, like the printer in me and the proud owner wants to show that off a lot. Like I want to put it on my website and I want to put it on my social media and I want to this and this, but I'm also afraid I'm just going to get a lot more of those. You know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be like, now I'm the guy who does 7 color sleeve prints.
High color, low quantity.
And it's like,
that's the game.
Do you feel that at all? Or are you just like, bring it on?
I'm pretty much like, bring it on. Like if something's complicated, I'm like, I'm in. Like, and I'm like, Sarah, you're bringing this on yourself. And I'm like, I know, but I love it.
Right.
Like, I can't help it. Like, I love complicated shit. Like, I stress so hard about it. I get so worked off. I like won't sleep because I'm like stressing that like I've like done the steps properly, that it's going to work, because you have to put in all that work. But then whenever it goes, it like you put it on press and it runs. I'm like, I'm a fucking boss. This shit has worked like straight off the bat, and like I love it, and it feels great. But it's that like it's always that sort of thing, like, you know, when you're running around the press once and you're just like, I've done so much work to get to this point, and now I just need this to run for an hour. Like, so,
right. Well, to be fair, the hard part with that is that me and Tyler and you could feel the same way of like, oh, I want my shop to take on these difficult things and I want it to be whatever. And you're pumped on the challenge of it. But when you have the employees that you just bring it to them on a random Tuesday, like they could not know Monday, and then Tuesday they look at the schedule and they're like, what the hell is this 12 color front, 7 color both sleeve?
Get some mutiny on her hands.
Like this whole thing, like they will stab us in the face.
Screens.
Like they're not as enthusiastic as we are about like, oh, this print's going to be killer though. Like it's going to be great for us.
I've got some good attitudes in the back today, but they're doing a 13 color print right now. And everybody's happy that it's almost over.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good print, but geez. Whew.
Is that train going to be a while?
It'll go by pretty quick. We have massive
I don't want to ruin your
That's
talking
like
with a train going.
Like, that's a proper like massive diesel, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
sounds like
it's a big one. A little. I forgot to tell you. A few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, they advertised this like 1906 like old school steam engine, and it came right down the tracks here. It was super cool.
That's awesome.
It was neat. It felt like Harry Potter. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
We like steam engines here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smaller ones.
Or they all laughed because I heard the whistle and I was like, the train's here. And I went running out the front door. Everybody else is like, all right, Tyler, what is it? They're like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Just hop the train.
My inner child needs to go and see the train.
I was so excited. Like,
that's so cool.
My dad scared me. We're going to take a train tangent here real quick. My dad scared me when I was a kid because a friend of his got drunk at a bar one night and tried to jump the train in our town. Oh, God. And he like jumped up and grabbed the bar, but his feet slipped off and the train cut both of his legs off.
Oh, great. That's lovely.
So it made me just not want to
lovely
ever want to jump a train. It looks fun.
He won't be jumping any more trains.
Yeah.
He won't be jumping at all.
Old Stumpy.
Stumps McGee over there. And that's how he became known as Stumps. Anyways.
Dog. I don't know how to say this one. Dog Orse. I'm guessing you know this person because
God.
they did literally like 30 questions for you.
Yeah,
and I
They
had to weed
about her
through.
hands. Who asked about her hands?
Yeah, I had to weed through of like, I'm not going to ask these because I'll just be here all day asking these questions.
So Dog Horse
said,
Yeah, it's Pav.
Where did you
Pav.
learn to separate artwork and what are your tips for good results on press?
That's actually a legitimate question from Pav.
It's Mel.
I told you I weeded through for the good questions.
Mel is Dog Horse.
Yeah, he's like one of my best friends, like print friends. We're like in a group that's basically called like print therapy, and it's like a lot of like owner operator.
We have those.
Like, and we're all just like the best friends, and like we just like speak to each other all day and like barely get any work done. Like it's just really not good. And Pav is one of those people.
Perfect.
He's a very, very unique person. So I'm really surprised he's actually asked a legitimate question because I'm sure
there were a lot of them about like weird shit, and I was like, I'll reserve a few of these.
The one above this is great.
I separate artwork for like sim process and everything. Like I always wanted to do complicated stuff like that, and I didn't really know how. I basically just spoke to loads of people about it. Like Phil from Power Press is like a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kind of helped me out a bit at the start. And what's his name? Is it Chris?
And I was going to ask you, that mug that you were drinking out of, what is that? Is that a Power Press mug? I have the exact same one.
That's a good one.
I sent him a picture the other day of that mug because I put a plant in it in my office.
Oh, it's good for drinking black coffee out of. It is like the best black coffee mug ever.
Black metal coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, he helped me up a bit, and then it is Chris, isn't it, from Black Dog Ink in Australia?
I love that man.
Yeah, like he helped me out with the SEP ones, and like I just learned so much from him and like that. And then
he's the master of that.
Yeah, I got another friend called Alex who I bought my press off. Alex is like the most crazy screen printer in the UK. And yeah, I don't know, just speaking to other people and just kind of like, I just learned how to make an underbase, how to pull colors. And now I like half tone everything. Like I don't put anything through a rip anymore. Like I half tone it in Photoshop. I've got my curves, so I know what dots aren't going to show.
That's exactly how Upstate does it too. We've always manually done all of our halftones. We've never used the rip software until we got the laser, and then we had to ask Sadi how to bypass the rip so that we could use our own steps.
Halftones?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I didn't for a long time, and then I found it really difficult whenever I moved to auto to kind of figure out like the dots and everything. So I just kind of went back to half-tone it myself. I mean, I've got like a set of like actions, so I can just go like boom, underbase, boom, red, yellow, green, like whatever. And then I've got one that I can, set it to 600 DPI and like
you're halfway there to your SOP for that department.
Yeah. That's great. You've got actions built.
Yeah. I mean, they don't work all the time, but, I did make them myself, so they're pretty janky. It's fine.
Perfect.
But yeah, I just do that and then just leave them out, and then I can kind of see like how it's going to work, and then I can kind of figure out. No, like I think the most important thing before you like actually start a set of separations is looking at the artwork and being like, how do I want to print this? Because there's no point just doing like, this is how we do it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, following a set of instructions. If like this needs to be printed a totally different way. And actually I've changed how I do some separations recently. I've been speaking to like Brandon Letrue a lot about it, because he's been doing a lot of like overprinted, discharge, halftones and stuff.
I got Brandon's shirt on. I've talked to him about this shirt because I wear this a lot, and it is very beat. Like it is one of the most worn beat shirts I have. And I always tell Brandon that he made my favorite shirt.
Oh, he's such a weed out. He's such a nice guy. I actually printed him a hoodie with like some new artwork I got made, and I haven't sent it to him yet, but I am so scary, so I'll get around to it. So yeah, I don't know. Like if I look at something, I'd be like, right, my first thing is always like, I want to try and print this discharge if I can, because I just love it. And then figure out how I can do it. Like I don't really like always doing things like an underbase and then like everything like piled on top. Like I like to try and, if it's like a spot, like I'll try and discharge it. Like, and I sometimes I use like 3 sets of like ink in like on one run, you know, like I could use like a discharge base and then like mid solid colors and then maybe like a discharge spot. If there's like a band logo or something, and then like if it needs like a highlight white, you know, I will use like a HSA like high solids ink to do that. So I kind of like just look at it and decide how I want to run it first, and honestly,
I have a ton of respect for that, because I stress that a lot. And again, it's the whole ignorance thing. This is just how I've always done it. I didn't make a plan for it. I just did it. Where I look at every piece of artwork that comes in, and I'm like, what is the best way that I can get this print to either look the best or feel the best? You know, any customer could come in with a giant circle on their back, and I'm like, the very first thing I don't want to do is be like, well, we're going to have the, you know, thick white underbase and we're just going to do this on top. It's like, well, can we discharge this? Can we do, the second step is, can we do a discharge underbase with soft colors on top? Or, you know, can we put some breathability in this artwork where certain colors aren't underbased and certain colors are, so that it's not just a shield underneath. It's all these different things. So I think that's the best way to look at it. And that's why I say, and Tony's getting to you about doing plastisol, is like, I like doing both because it gives me more tools to approach a job of how is this going to look the best and feel the best.
That's it. You've got so much scope with like the different opacities of inks, you know, like plastisol. Like if you need, like if I've got to print like a really hot pink on a sweatshirt, like it's going to be plastisol, like, you know, because I just know that it's going to like look the best. But yeah, I suppose it's just kind of like, you know, like all those guys I spoke to were just like, you know, you just need to try lots of stuff and see what works for you. And like, I have just kind of like cherry picked from other people who are like so good at it and just kind of ran with it and found my own ways of doing things. So,
that's all you can do.
Yeah. And I like, you know, I print like a lot of water-based, like wet on wet, you know, I kind of know like what kind of colors I can print wet on wet, and like if the temperature is a certain like temperature, like I'll know that like I can't do it because I'll know that they're just going to like stick, they're not going to react properly, they're going to like pull off. So it really does like depend on the job, but like I don't treat everything the same, and I really stress over steps like an insane amount. But it's like my favorite thing to do. Like I love it so much.
Well, that's in my opinion, that's the art part of what we do. Like that's where we can be creative and be artists, even with someone else's artwork that we didn't create. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole thing of it's, we know as printers, there's certain printers out there or just separation artists or whatever, where we know that guy's a fucking artist. Like it takes a lot of skill and a lot of time and trial and error and just, you know, time doing it to get some of these prints that are just like amazing. There's so many people on Instagram that I follow where they might not even have a big print shop or whatever. There might be one guy in a garage, but it's like he's making these prints that are like gorgeous. Yeah. Like it's like, oh, I can't remember the guy's name now. He speaks another language, but he just makes like dog portraits or something. And it's like, oh, he made it with 5 colors and he manually printed it and it looks flawless.
Did you do discharge?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know who and he always does like, he does like a discharge base and then he'll like put the detail back in with like a black screen or something.
Yeah. And there's like a light brown first that goes over everything and then a white and then another color. And then it's like, they're so good. And it's like, that's a fucking artist.
What's his name? I've run across him a few times.
I'm going to butcher it if I try to say it.
His name, but yeah, he is like awesome. So yeah.
I'll try to
Yeah, I
find
love
it.
seeing how
I'm going to
people
say
do
that
it.
now, but I'm going to try to find it and have Chad put it in the description. But
Yeah, cool.
John McGee and Traveling Screen Printer shows his stuff off all the time on his page. So if you want to just go to John's page, you can find it. So I'm gonna hit you with a couple more of the listener questions. I'm gonna throw in some good ones. Human Made Studio asks, "What is your favorite citrus fruit?"
Citrus fruit.
I don't know why this question exists. I'm guessing it's an inside joke. But
It's because I love the smell of like the organic screen wash.
The orange
the
stuff.
citrus,
Yeah.
yeah.
It smells like oranges. Yeah. So yeah.
It's like that.
I'm
What is
always
that
like,
stuff?
this is delicious.
Yeah, it's like what's that hand cleaner? That orange stuff. That's is it?
Or oh shoot,
You know what I'm talking about? It has all the grit in it.
it's orange bottle.
Yeah, people listening are like, "You're an idiot." This is what this is called. I'm going to ask another dog horse question. It was a serious question. Why is she so enthusiastic about the dark room and the process that goes on in there?
He's such a tosser. I'm not going to answer that.
Fair enough.
That is an inside joke that I'm just not going to talk about on this podcast.
Okay. Well, I think it's almost worse that you leave it up for the imagination.
Yep.
But we'll leave that one
We
alone.
get letters about this one.
God.
Gojo. That's the hand cleaner.
Yeah,
That's
there
hand
it
cleaner.
is.
Well, this one's got to be inside. Can I read this one? Because this one made me laugh
Yeah,
so
go
hard.
ahead.
I'm going to have to answer this one.
Inky Cow. Do you know Inky Cow? Because they ask, can you please ask Sarah why her hands are so big? There's multiple O's.
Oh, I've just got... So, Darcy from Inky Cow, Humane Maid, and Pav are all in like print therapy in my like print group. And I don't know why, you just like talk about like just shit with your friends all the time. Like every often, like, I don't know, every 2 months for some reason we'll end up like comparing our hand size again. And Pav has like the smallest hands of any man I've ever seen. And like mine are like massive. So
that's me. I have bear paws. Like I have sausage fingers.
So you got small hands.
You have okay hands, Tyler. You're okay. They're pretty average.
They're soft.
I don't know why it comes around. Like I just think it's circles, and sometimes it'll be like, how many screens can you hold in your one hand?
I'm a little bit bigger. We just held hands.
We just had a moment. We touched hands. We did not hold.
Yeah, we did.
No.
You can't see our other hand.
That's what the dark room's for.
There's
That's
a lot under the desk today.
The dark room always locks from the inside.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, like if any sort of like, I don't know, anything like dirty ever comes up in chat, obviously because it does, because it's like mostly guys in that chat. It's always like, oh, I'm going to the dark room.
Lock it. Yep, it's good.
Self-reflection, I guess.
Heart Trick asks
self-reflection with
air quotes for the people
Sarah's
listening.
my new favorite printer.
Heart Trick asks, can I come work at Heck Press for 1 week and learn everything about water-based printing?
Yes, please do. Yes.
The funny thing about this is I know that it's a heartfelt question, and it's just like, hey, it's admiring you and whatever and wanting to come work there. But even me and Tyler have talked about this before, where I would love to have this like therapy group like you have. Like we have our own text groups and whatever. Yeah. I would love to send employees, just rotate them to other shops that you respect and be like, hey, go, like I will pay you to go here. Just like literally go to TC and like you're in production there wherever he wants you for a week. And I'll see you next Monday. And just like absorb as much as you can or learn from their production manager, like how their flow works or how this works. They might go and be like, oh, it was great. I printed shirts, and they come back with nothing. But I don't feel like that's going to be the case. I feel like they're going to come back with little nuggets of like, oh, well, their flow is like this, or they do this thing a little bit differently and whatever. And then they can bring that back to the shop and hopefully up everybody's game a little bit with, learning from multiple places. Because especially where we live, there's no other option. It's not like people are going to work at my shop and then leave and then go to a shop that's similar nearby if they want to live there. So it's nice to be like, well, I'll fly you to Arkansas, or I'll fly you to, California, or wherever you want to go to learn from somebody else. Do you feel, I mean, it's just you, but like, do you ever feel like you should go to more shops or maybe visit these therapy friend shops and just work with them for a week to kind of see how things go?
Like I totally would. Like, so whenever I bought this press, I bought it off my friend Alex, who has a shop called Supreme Screen down in like South Wales. And I don't know, I was with him for like a week, maybe over like 2 sessions to like learn how to run the press. And it was just awesome. Just like going to a different shop, and like he had like, a 3-chamber reclaim and like a spider and like everything like proper like set up. And I learned so much about like how he does things. And even like I've got some like friends down the road who've got an awesome studio called Flood, and tutor there. Like if I go to his shop and like see how, things run for him, like I learned so much. Like I'd always have anybody here to like, if they wanted to come and like see how I run things. Yeah. Cause you just like learn so much from each other, don't you?
Yeah.
And even I've just learned so much from just even like Mel, who's like not a printer, who just comes in and does things a different way. Like
it's just different perspectives. We could all be doing the same thing and have a rough, similar outcome on what a shirt's going to look like, but we all do it differently. Like our group of, say it's 10 people in a text chain or something, we could send artwork, just, here's a mock-up form with artwork approved. Send it to every single one of those shops. I guarantee almost every single one of them is going to look and feel slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Totally.
You know what I mean? It's not good or bad. It's just, why did yours turn out the way that it turned out? And it's because these little nuances of how they do things in the shop. Like my underbase screen could be a 140 hydro and Tyler might have picked a 156. Or this or that or the other thing. And it's like, why is this print a little bit silkier than this one? Or, you chose to use discharge over this or whatever. It could be anything. And it's like, I want to learn why you chose that over what I chose, because that might help my next decision on the next job be a little bit better, because you opened my eyes to that's how Tyler would have done it. So I don't know. I think it's a great idea. We talk about it all the time, but we never do it. But we should actually do it, especially now that I've been here.
For a retreat, send it to everybody, and then everybody brings their stuff to that retreat.
Just pick and choose where we're going to go.
Talks about it. That'd be a good idea.
Let's see what else we got here. That was it.
That's all the listener questions.
All the listener questions.
I'd love to go to like some more shops. Like I'd love to go and like go to the Monster Boys shop.
They're great.
Yeah, and see how they run things, because I suppose the first time I went into a shop with an auto, which was Flood down here, they've got M&R, and I walked in the shop and they've got like a massive dryer. I was literally like, this is what I want. Like, and that's like what I kind of set my sights on then. And then now I've got that, so, yeah, it's good to like inspire you as well. It's not that I want like Monster Press's shop, because it's like theirs and we do different stuff,
but it still lights a fire under you to a degree, like it inspires you to do things better. It's like even me here at Tyler's place, like I haven't told him yet, and I probably shouldn't tell him to his face, but like there's things about being here, like you walk into the shop, you're like, oh yeah, this is a great shop. It's clean. It's impressive. It's whatever. But then you see certain aspects that he has that I don't have. And you're just like, fuck, like I kind of am down on myself a little bit. He has so much space. Like he was rubbing it in my face yesterday.
I was
how much
not rubbing
space
it in
he
my
has.
space.
He's like, look at this like echo.
We took
like
a walk. We got lost. It's not that big. Jeez.
And I'm like fucking debating if I should buy a folder bagger, because I don't know if I have room for it. And Tyler's like, I have this warehouse over here that it's like, oh, and also behind us is this 10,000 square foot warehouse that he's like maybe we'll do something with. I'm not sure. I just have all this extra space.
it is. We feel incredibly lucky to have so much space.
But it's stuff like that makes me cry on the inside of like, he doesn't know how good he has it.
I know how good I have it because you won't leave it alone.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's always good. Like, honestly, that's been like years and years ago now. Like I started traveling to shops on my own because it's one of my favorite things to do because of that. Like I get the excitement of doing that. But then I got involved with M&R where it was like, hey, we'll send you to shops that you want to go to and like just do an interview and like check out their space, which was really cool because a lot of the shops that I went to with them were shops that I never would have been invited into unless I was like, hey, I'm with M&R, like I'm with the manufacturer that makes all your equipment.
Opens up doors.
Like some of these huge shops that like have like, you know, a lot of people, I don't want to say these people are gatekeeping shops or anything. They're just not like on social media. They're not like, they stay in their bubble, they do their thing, but they are amazing at what they do. You know, they have it dialed and they're like, oh yeah, we have 85 autos and 2,000 employees. And it's like, oh, we have like very specific ways that we do things. Or like we have a literal line drawn in between our shop where ink is not allowed to cross this line. You know, like ink mixing and this is all on this side of the shop and it never crosses the line into this side because then it eliminates all aspects of getting ink on a garment that it's not supposed to. And it's stuff like that where it's like, God, I love seeing that because it's like, it makes total sense, but I would never think to do that in my 3 auto shop at home. You know what I mean? Like, why did you do that? Or how did you get this to work? Or what is this efficiency or program that you have that I don't have? I don't know. You guys should do that. I mean, your answer was yes to come. Let him come to your place.
There you go.
So let's do that.
There you go.
Yeah, like he's like my print brother. He's got like 2 kids, and like I feel like we've kind of done stuff at like similar times. Like he's we're on like parallel lines. Did you just see he got this like crazy massive flat bed printer thing to print boxes?
Oh, really?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so he can put like an entire box in, like the whole thing, and it like has these humongous screens and like automatically prints over it. I mean, like it looks like an absolute dinosaur, but it's so cool.
I have seen him doing some stuff on that actually.
Yeah.
It was like maybe his first test or something recently that he did. I think I saw it. Maybe it was on Instagram.
Yeah, I was gonna say like come over and bring your kids and have like a holiday in Wales, and it'll be fun.
I mean, we heard it's nice outside and it's a great place to hike.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? I mean, you have, you know, the kids and the shop and the auto, and you have Mel is transforming your shop into what it should be.
Something that's a bit more organized.
Yeah, you said you wanted to hire for production soon.
What's next for you?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think at the moment, like, I'm just kind of keen to keep everything how it is, because, like, I have been through, like, such a massive period of burnout that basically, like, culminated in the last couple of months when I got, like, quite ill, like, just, like, I got, like, flu, and then I got, like, COVID and, like, norovirus, like, in the same month. Like,
oh, jeez.
And it was really awful, and, like, I was still in work, and, like I end up having to take some time off, and it's kind of like really knocked me, and it's like knocked production. So like I am just, and then at the same time I got like another unit next door as well in there. So like I got that unit like last month or something.
So you expanded.
So yeah.
Congratulations.
More space. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah. So it like doubled what I have. So this is like 700 square foot. So it's like, something like that. It's like 7 meters by 10 meters. And then it's the same in there. And it's connected by these lovely doors. So, I mean, what we're going to do now is so we have an office in there now, which is awesome, because literally it was just like Mel's desk was a guitar case with some legs on it next to the air compressor.
Perfect spot to be, right next to the air compressor.
So cool.
Hey, you know where I could really put your talents is on this guitar case over right here next to the air compressor.
Yeah, and then she had enough of that, so then she took this table that I'm on now, which was like for screens and like whatever else, because it's so tight in here. So I moved the office in there. I'm going to move the screen room in there, and then have like a proper area for inks here, because it's all very sort of like small right now.
Yep.
And kind of just like get in there like nice and clean and better, so we can take better pictures, and try and just do more stuff on most social media really, and then hopefully get like a small auto reclaim, and just
I was
try
going
and
to
keep
ask you,
things
what other
small.
equipment do you have? Like, obviously you have the MHM, but what else do you got in there? You don't have any kind of manual anymore? Are you automated at all in the darkroom, or are you still manually coating?
No, I'm manually coating. Sorry, I'm just laughing because of the earlier mention of
I know,
darkroom.
I'm trying to dance around it here.
So,
The darkroom.
Don't talk about the darkroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still manually coating, so I need to get an auto coater. But I never really have any problems with coating, so I don't know. It's more of a want than a need. And I've got
but there's a lot of things with it too, though, that is kind of like consistency and actually being able to measure your EOM. Like, you can't really do it accurately with coating manually because you could be tired, or your arm. You're not going to coat the same on screen 1 as you're going to coat on screen 50.
Yep, but an auto coater does the same thing the whole way around
all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
especially with someone who's super
picky
about prints, I would think that you would want that variable gone.
Yeah.
Yes, with your enthusiasm for the darkroom. So.
Mm-hmm. I would get an auto coater first thing.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you doing film, or you have CTS?
Film. Just film. I mean, like, there are some options here, but I mean, a lot of people have the spider here, but there's so many issues with the spider, and it only prints like 600 DPI or something. So obviously people get like a really good result with it, but what you can get is like banding on it.
Right.
And I just cannot be dealing with it. Like, I cannot be dealing with having banding and not knowing until you set it up that like your black has banding on it and like your job is fucked basically.
Yeah.
Where like film obviously takes longer, but I never have any issues with it. I know what dots are going to hold. I know what aren't going to hold. And if there's a problem with the screen, it's probably something that I've done, and I can figure it out pretty easily. I'm not like wrestling with a machine to figure it out. I mean, I've got like a film positioning unit, which is amazing. With the MHM, obviously, you just put it in
with pins,
the pins.
Right? Yeah,
the pins help so much with their product.
Yeah, you line it up and like literally, I just put my screens into the press. Like, I don't reg them. I run a test print. I might have to just like tweak this way or that way or whatever, but it's fine. And I actually had Corey from Floodway, whenever I first got it, he was like, those things don't work, you still have to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, hold on, matey, let me give it a go. And like literally, like I don't have my FPU connected up to air. Like, I slot it in with my hand. I bought it for £150 off another like print shop in the UK, and it's literally amazing. Like, I don't have to do anything. I just whack them in and they work. And I just, because you just tweak the MHM here or on the side here on the back. If you just need to move it like a mil up, left, right, whatever, it's so easy and it's so intuitive to just be like boom, boom, boom. Okay, like I don't even need to like do another test print because I know that's moved enough now and it's going to be fine. Which is obviously really important.
Which is nice too, because in a lot of those you can tape off your registration marks or not even put them on the artwork at all. Because if you're just going to throw them in and it's good, then you probably need those for lining up film.
Yeah, that is the annoying thing, and I would love,
especially for someone who does discharge and water base, eliminating the registration marks for seeping.
Yeah, because you can't like tape underneath the screen whenever you're printing with discharge, because you just get like some weird, I don't know what it is, like,
and it just chases down the tape. Yeah,
some weird osmosis thing that sort of like And then you're like, my
That's a
prints are
technical
great.
term.
My prints are great.
Oh yeah, just like that. Just like that.
Like sweatiness or something. So yeah, I've always got tape like over them, and it is annoying, like, because I'd like to use less tape. I mean, like my screens have like no tape edges, no tape edges. It's like whenever they run the
You have
glue
block
down.
out.
Block out.
Yeah, they run the glue down the inside of the frame whenever I get them made. So I don't have to put that much tape on them, which I love.
Let me ask you a serious question, and this is nothing against Frank or anybody who does block out, because it's whatever. You like the permanent block out just for the tape, but do you also have a nightmare with permanent block out when it comes to reclaim? For me, I didn't like block out when I went to reclaim, because it was just holding ink, or it's just splashing back on you because you're hitting a permanent surface.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, isn't it? It's like one trade off for another. Like,
Right.
I would prefer to have less.
See, we would
tape,
run
I
permanent
guess.
block out through the reclaim, through an auto reclaim, or even manually doing it, and it would always be where the ink would stay, because it's not blowing it through a surface. Like, it's not going through the mesh.
Okay.
It's just sitting there. So if it doesn't like wash it off or slide it around, it's just going to stay there. So it was always another thing we had to like wipe or check or whatever. And then again, like if you put that screen in the booth and you're hitting it with a pressure washer, it's just fucking hitting that corner and spraying all right back in your face.
Yeah, that does suck. And this is why my husband mostly does my reclaim for me.
He comes in and gets your screens ready, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
That's why you don't mind. You're like,
I love making screens. What are you talking about? Somebody does them for me.
He does a better job than me. He's very he's very particular, and I'm very like boom, 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 right, next one. I mean, he's slow, but he does a good job.
Or the other option is, what size screens do you run? 2331s or 2536?
2333. I know it's a weird size.
They're special for MHM.
I don't know.
It just.
I was going to say you could run 2536s and then just do a wider coat and then have no tape.
You can't on the MHM.
You can't put them on this X type. Like 30, 33, maybe like you could probably get 34, but 33 is like the longest you can get on here, and that allows you to get like a 20-inch print. Like if I had like 31s, like I'd only get like 17, pushing 18.
Yeah, our max on the 2331, just to have that extra area for squeegee and flood bar, is we say 16. We could get more, but we just say anything 12 by 16 max is our standard size. And then we say like 15 by 20 is our oversized print. And then we do those on 2536s.
Yeah, I know there's some shops run it and it like seems to work really well. Like I'd love to have bigger screens, but I'm not going to get it on this press. And like honestly, like it was so stressful getting this in. Like it's so stressful getting any of this shit into your shop. Like I am not in any rush to.
Don't do what works for you.
Take your time.
Take your time. Don't rush through it.
Although saying that, somebody messaged me yesterday being like, we were going to get rid of our like 10 color S type soon, compact. And I was like,
we could fit that in here.
That stress level is going to go away the more you want to get it.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. Like the stress it takes to like just get to this point. Like I don't actually know how I've survived. Like I am not.
But Sarah, you have that other unit right next to you now with all that fresh space.
You have extra space. You should fill it up.
You should immediately fill it with another press and another employee, and you're printing twice as many shirts.
Where you're sitting right now doesn't need to be a desk for Mel. It's just a place for another press. So there you go.
Don't listen to us. I'm 100% kidding. Do not do that. Do not overextend.
I don't want to be like running like 2 presses at once or anything like that. Like this is literally not on like that much really. Like it should be on way more than it is. So like I'm fine. I just need more help with
Sarah, I think you're doing great. I think you're doing fantastic. From what I see on the outside looking in and talking to you today, you're doing what you should be doing. You're doing great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I do love it, but I mean, like, it is stressful. Like, I don't know if anybody doesn't find this stressful, or if we're just like people who do find this type of thing stressful. Like, I don't know, but I still do it. I still come here every day, and you know.
I think
so.
we're just, I don't know, just battle hardened. I feel like a lot of owners and shop owners I know are just okay with it being what it is. Like
It's the conversation we had yesterday on the
Yeah.
drive. It is what it is right now. Like
I literally walk in every day of like, well, this is my rough expectation for how this day is going to go. I just need to be okay with it changing 100% to something else
Just going to shit.
and going to hell. And then I wake up tomorrow and I do it again.
Yep.
Like there's no plan. There's no, like, people look at your shops and they're like, oh my God, your systems and processes and planning was so good. And it's like, nah, dude, like I just woke up the next day and did something a little bit different or added an improvement that I found that day. Like there was no planning.
Yeah.
Just is what it is.
It feels so real.
So Sarah, we're at that point. I want to ask you, do you have a shop hack that you would want to share?
I did actually
Guitar
write some
case
down,
desk
I think.
sounds pretty cool.
It is really cool. It is really cool. The best thing I probably have in this shop for me, as like a single owner operator, is like I have one of those dryers that has like a return belt on it. You've seen this for
cool.
the Josie. But yeah, so because where I stand, that hasn't helped like at all. Where I stand, is that going to crash? No, it's fine. So where I stand here and I like load shirts on, I can like load them off as well because they come back to me. So like I am like able to just run everything myself. So by the time like the job's finished, it's actually like folded, it's stacked, and it's ready to go.
All by yourself.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I have to run it a bit slower so that, you know, I can.
Yeah, but the trade-off is that you don't have to go to
You have to do more stuff later.
You don't have to. And that was when we were smaller. That was always a headache for me, or that was always annoying for me. Is like printing a job, having all like say 100 shirts or 200 shirts go through the dryer, land in a bucket, and then you're sitting there like picking a shirt out, looking at the tags, stacking the smalls, and it's like, oh, let's stack them. It's like this whole process, and now you can just do it as they come, and it's so much easier.
It's horrendous, and it's good with sleeves because I print like a lot of sleeves. So like if I've got like 50 shirts or 100 shirts or whatever, like I'll do one sleeve and it will come back to me, and I'll literally pick it up and stick it back on the press. So it's like, how much time is saved from having to stack those long sleeves again? Like so much. That time is just gone. Like you don't have to worry about it. So that's really cool. Yeah, I love my dryer and like always recommend it to people.
What dryer is it for the people listening?
It's a Chiosi Cavazuti.
Kavuzi? I can't remember how to say it.
Chiosi Cavazuti or something like that, I think.
Yeah. We're going out for Italian.
If you're Italian, tonight. You have to do
We're
this.
Going out for Italian tonight, so we're practicing. So.
Yeah, it's an Italian dryer. It's actually like
it's a DTG dryer technically, right? But great for water base.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I got it off a
How do you say that?
Print shop that closed down called, is it Bear something or other? They used to do like tattoo inspired clothing, but they basically moved to like DTG and DTF, and the sort of market dropped out for them.
Dude, I wouldn't even try that. Cavazuti? Is that how you would say it?
Cavazuti, yeah.
Shosea Cavazuti?
I think it's just called a Chiosi.
But I have to do this while I do.
Cavazuti.
That's it.
Makes a mean meatball.
Yeah, it's great for pizza.
I bought it like cheap off somebody, and
it's good.
Off another company, and they delivered it. And it was a fucking nightmare to get in, and it almost broke me, but it's never going anywhere else now.
That's awesome.
They also make these really great drawer dryers for like water base and DTG, where you can buy like it's like a big cabinet with like 12 drawers in it. So when you're making DTG, you put it in the top one, then you can load it in, and by the time you get to the bottom, the top one is just hot air moving around in a box. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. It's like a filing cabinet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Filing cabinet with a fire in the bottom.
Yeah.
Filing cabinet's on fire.
Next question is greatest shop fail.
Oh my God. Probably loads.
Time for the worst thing.
What's that one that's burned into the back of your brain
What's
that
the
you never
worst?
want to think about ever again? That I'm making you bring up now and discuss.
And it's okay. If it has to do with the dark room, you don't have to talk about it.
I don't know. Like, I mean, there's this shit that happens. I mean, I was like, I remember whenever I first started and I was working, I have told this story before, but I was working in this school, and obviously because I printed shirts, everybody got me to print the shirts for the end of year, sort of, whatever.
Mhm.
But I spelled college wrong on the hoodies. I spelt it with 3 L's.
This is the person who works at the school who's supposed to know what that kind of thing is.
For all the children.
No, I'm saying
I
you were
printed
working
them
at
for
the
it.
school.
Oh yes, with the children, with the kids I printed them for, who were all like 15, and they were all wearing them. And then one of them came up to me and was just like, "Miss, there's 3 L's in like college," and I was literally like, "Swallow me up and fucking kill me!" Like that is.
You say you passed the test. You're ready for college.
College. But yeah, I mean, like, shit,
College.
it was horrible. Like, shit does happen sometimes. When I got the dryer in, it was like an awful experience. Because I was on my own. My husband was on tour in America. My forklift got cancelled. I had like the forklift company screaming at me. The guys who showed up. I was like on my own. I had like my kids, like I had like childcare phone and be like, "Where are you? Like, you need to come and get your kids." And like, oh, it was just awful. But I felt like because I came through that, I could probably come through anything.
Hell
Sounds
yeah.
like a bad
Yeah.
day, but you covered
You
it,
fucking
right?
did it,
Look
though.
at it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Shit happens all the time. I did a job last week, and the customers aren't happy with the color, which is fair enough. I've come to terms with it. I take things a
Don't
bit
give
thick
in.
sometimes.
No, Sarah, do not give in.
The color's perfect, Sarah.
No.
You're with other printers
No,
right
it's
now. Be
not.
like, fuck them. The color was right.
No, it's not. It's fair enough. It wasn't perfect, and I'm just reprinting them, which is a shame because like they look really awesome. But I just asked them to like send me a vinyl to actually match it. So what can you do? You just got to eat it sometimes, I guess.
That's like the most frustrating thing to me is if someone has a business card or they have some product in their shop or like you said, like a piece of vinyl or something that is the color that they specifically want and they don't offer it to you.
And they don't mention it from the beginning.
They don't bring it up at all.
It really needs to match this blue that's on everything else we own.
Like we have people that'll come to us and order shirts and give no direction, no nothing, no Pantones, no whatever. Give us the artwork. We print the job, send it to them. And they're like, this green isn't right. And it's like, what do you mean it isn't right?
It doesn't
like,
match that one wall in my office.
There's no one thing that you brought up that made me know if this is right or wrong. Yeah. We just picked a green that looked like the monitor. And they're like, oh, well, we can send you the shirts that we already did. It's like, well, why didn't you fucking bring that up in the beginning that you already have shit that you want matched?
Yeah.
Like I would have given you the $5 to ship the shirt to me instead of the $800 redo I have to do.
Like, we had a large brand tequila company that we did shirts for 3 or 4 years ago. And they were like, oh, it has to be I'm not going to say the company, this green. And we were like, okay, what's the Pantone color for it? Like, we can totally match color. They're like, oh, we don't have an in our book. It's just called their brand green. And so, darn it, we had to go buy a bottle and match it in house. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the worst.
But then you messed the color up because you drank the bottle before
we
you mixed it.
all had to test the product before we tested the color, of course. So,
yeah, color's a nightmare. I had some customers like that. Like, I am so lucky with who I work for. Like, you know, my customers are all so lovely. They give me the time of day. They know that like I'm a bit of like a stress head, like I really am. But they know that like I'll do my best to like, you know, give them something great. But if I get anybody who I have had in the past who like ruins my day, because of something like that. They haven't like given me the correct information. They didn't tell me from the start that they just wanted this shit t-shirt, and you do everything, and then they're like, oh no, I actually just wanted this whatever shit is.
Right.
Whatever it was.
I had a customer a while ago, and I just told him, I was just like, do not come back. We will not print for you again.
Why? What
Just
happened there?
I did a last minute order for him. He was a new customer. I only did it for him because he was friends with another customer who I do stuff for. And he said that he wanted something like a GDO5. But then he wanted a GDO5. He wanted something that was like a GDO5 but was better quality, still cheap as fuck.
Right.
The usual shit. So I got these shirts for him, which were like the same size as like Gildan's. Like there was literally you look at like the specs.
Right, the
they're
specs
same
were similar.
size. They were 220 GSM. They were organic cotton. Like, they were like maybe 50 pence extra more expensive. So they were like a really good match. And he got them. And he was just like, these XLs are too big. I was like, what do you mean that they're too big? He was like, they're too big. I don't like them. I'm like, that's not like a valid answer. So he basically wanted to send the whole.
Well, that's an opinion.
That's like your opinion.
Yeah,
man. Is that again?
No,
Like
it gets worse.
man.
It gets worse. Oh God, this fucking dude. So basically what he wanted was he wanted to have a refund, but he also wanted to keep his
fuck
shirt.
that guy.
No,
I
I thought they were too big.
That's someone trying to get free shit. That's what that is.
No, it gets
way.
worse, right?
All right, continue.
He canceled the check.
So in the end, I said, do you know what? Like, if this is after a lot of toing and froing, right? Like, I already went out of my way. I've already given him more than he asked for. Everything. I've delivered it it was 3 days or something. For a show he had. So I said, you know what? Just send me the XLs back, and I will refund you for them. And then it was like, well, what are you going to do with them whenever I send them to you? And I'm like,
freaking hate when people do that. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to wipe my ass with them. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
going to sell them to your fans on my website.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to set them on fire, and woe the day you ever sent me an email.
I'll put them in a pile and they will do nothing right there.
How about we both said wipe our ass with them at the exact same time?
Yeah. And then he started being like, oh, well, I feel like it's such a waste to just cut them up. Is there any way you can remove a screen print? Right? These are white t-shirts with a black print. Can you remove a screen print?
You can remove a customer.
It gets worse. So I was like, obviously just like, no, you can't remove a screen print. And then he's like, here's an article on WikiHow I found that's entitled How to Remove a Screen Print. And I'm like, dude, no, like.
Mm-hmm.
So
like, why is he not just giving up at this point? Like, why?
I don't
like, you're
know.
already offering to refund him or to do something different.
So he sent me the shirts back, and I was just like, I said to him, yeah, I was quite rude, actually. I'm not the most like customer focused person, to be fair. I said to him, just so you know, you have ruined last minute orders for any new clients who aren't already on the books with us. I will never do a last minute order for anybody I haven't worked with again, because you have really taken the piss. I was like, you literally want your cake and to eat it too. And
that's amazing. I'm so glad you said
I'm
that.
I'm such a sensitive person. Like I'm not gonna like try and hide that, but like if you make me feel like really shit, like I'm never working for you again. Like
we literally talked about that yesterday too. Me and Tyler had this like whole hours of driving and hiking, and we therapied hard,
big time.
Print therapy.
Yeah, and just life. Yeah,
dude.
But the thing is too, is I had said that I'm like, I generally as a human being, like go out of my way to help people when I can. But as soon as you're that kind of person who either takes advantage of me or like disrespects me in a harsh way like that, like I just write you out of my life,
done.
basically.
Yeah,
like
don't need you anymore.
I don't need this. I don't need that. Like, why am I fighting for this bullshit? Like, it's like this guy, like you did a job for him in 3 days and you offered to fix things or make things right. And he still was shitting on you. Like,
and it was the same size as the fucking shirts he already wanted. Like it still baffles me. Like I talk about this story the odd time, and I always feel like such a vindictive bitch. But like I'm still like raging about it because it was so stupid. It was so fucking
20
stupid.
years ago. Wow, you really hold on to stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I don't forgive. I don't forget.
She's got a tattoo on her arm of the experience.
His name is actually
crossed out.
Crossed out.
What movie is it? Where was it Adam Sandler? Was it Wedding Singer? No, what movie is it? Where he crosses his name off the list. And he's like, glad I called
Adam
that
Sandler
guy.
ends up being nice to
and
the
then
guy.
he puts the lipstick on. Billy Madison. Yeah.
People to kill.
He's like, glad I called that guy.
Whoops.
Yeah, no. Anybody like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not working with you again.
Crazy.
Don't send me another email.
Good story.
I think it's fair enough. Like, why do you have to work with shit people? Like, I feel like I've cultivated my shop around like the type of people I want to work with, and they are the type of people that like don't stress me out. As soon as somebody like stresses me out, like I flip. Like I have really bad insomnia. Like I said, don't deal with stress really well. So if somebody like stresses me out, I stop sleeping, like, and that impacts my ability to do my job and like function as a human being. So like, I just be like, no, like I'm not working for you. And
well, especially if you've got like a print therapy group of all the local printers, they don't realize that everybody's friends. So if, we've had people before a customer who's like, didn't pay us for thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And I told my friends, I'm like, hey, don't work with this customer. They don't pay. Like, it's not good for anybody.
Yeah, no. I mean, like my print therapy group, it's not just like therapy, but like we do kind of use it.
No,
like
we totally get
what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
printers
I
that you can trust and bounce things off of.
Yeah.
There's this one customer who I print for now, and like he's a lovely guy. He's incredibly anal about what he wants, like where he wants positions, like he wants like a centimeter down, a centimeter across, whatever, on different sort of shirts or whatever. And I had like a number of print shops just being like, oh, that guy.
Which is funny to me because on the shirt show a little while ago, I posted a thing where I said like nightmare clients or something. And like my response as me at Upstate Merch to my own shirt show thing was, I hate customers who pull the ruler out.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like they get the shirt and they're like, well, it said in your mock-up form it was going to be 2 inches down, but it's actually 2 1/4. I want a refund or something.
1.9.
Or like
do that.
They're whatever. And I got so many responses back or DMs, which shocked me, from printers where they're like, I love those clients because they know what they want, and I want to make sure that my product is, as good as what they're whatever. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying I don't want all of my prints to be what I said they were going to be down. I'm just saying shit happens. Like you with this extra larges or whatever, say it was a print and like you're hand loading these, you're doing whatever, and it's slightly different. Like, or if you're loading this is a good example. So say you're doing a back print on a hoodie or something, and on your press, you're supposed to pull the hood off like 2 inches or something to get the placement where it's got to be. So it's, under the hood, and you're hand pulling these off the pallet roughly 2 inches. Well, the customer is like, well, you said it was going to be 6 inches down, but it's actually 6 1/3 or something. And it's like, dude,
that's bullshit.
Why does this fucking matter? Like, and that's what I'm saying is they will pull out a ruler and like send you photos and be like, I need my money back on these because this isn't what you said it was going to be or something. And it's like, that's the customer I hate. Like,
and do they also want to keep the hoodies?
Right. And they're like, well, to go back to your thing there, the annoying part with those people is they're like, I hate the extra larges or something. And then you're like, okay, well, you go back and forth for a couple of days and email and whatever to try to figure the situation out. And you're like, all right, well, I will reprint this order for you. I will email you a UPS label, send them back to me, and I'll reprint the order. And they're like, well, I can't do that. I already sold half the shirts. It's like, your argument to me was they were unsellable.
Yeah. Must not be that bad.
And then the conversation's over for me. Because I'm like, if you already sold half of these, then what are we talking about? Like,
yeah, I've had that before with like, this isn't the right.
I won't reprint them unless they'll send them back to me.
Or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm the same. I did a customer a while ago who was with another printer, did a last minute job for them. I picked a different pink. I picked a pink that was in the file. The printer had done it previously, had picked like a sort of fluorescent pink. Oh, this pink isn't right. And she's like, well, it's what you sent to me. And she was like, well, it's not right. I want my money back. I'm like, all right, send me back the shirts. Didn't send them back. Nothing. They're going to sell them. Yep. Like, this band I had with I said the color just wasn't quite right, and I said, send them back. They took them some shows. They really weren't happy with them. I was like, that's fine. They haven't sold them. They're sending me them back. They didn't ask me what I was going to do with them. Like, I mean, I always need black shirts for, test prints.
Test prints.
So
yep, exactly.
that's what they're going to be. So
that's what I chalk it up to. A lot of times if there's an order that's messed up, say it's 50 shirts, 100 shirts, whatever, and we have to redo it, I will spend the $20, $30 on the shipping label to get them back. Because I don't want them to sell double the amount of shirts and be okay with the ones they said that were bad. But also I look at it as like, cool, I just bought myself 100 test prints.
Yep.
Yeah. Totally.
Like I will use them. I won't literally wipe my ass with them, but I will test print on them. Like,
depends.
Depends on who it's for, I guess.
What's the thread count?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the shirt? It's not in a Gildan heavy.
All right, quick takes. What shirt has your shop printed that you are the most proud of?
There's some cool stuff. I was looking at your Instagram. There's some great prints on here.
I don't know, actually. I think there's one of the reels is like for this downhill mountain bike park that's out the road, Revolution. It's got this like, there's tons of like downhill mountain biking around here, this part of the woods. But that print with like a big digger, like I'm really happy with that. That's actually plastisol and water based. So that's probably a bit strange to have as one of my favorite prints, but it's just such a tricky print. It's always on like 4 or 5 different garments, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves. And I'm always like really happy with how it turns out. And it's always a pain in the ass, but the customers are lovely. So
they're mountain bikers. They're good people.
Mountain bike's huge here in Arkansas. If you could snap your fingers and change one major thing about your shop, what would it be? 5 more Mel's.
Ooh. 5 more Mel's.
5 more Mel's and 3 more units.
There's only 1 Mel. 1 Mel, she's mine. I would honestly, like, I would just have like the layout that like I need to have right now that I haven't been able to like implement because we've been too busy. So I would just like have my screen room in there. I would have enough space to think about getting an auto coater. That's it really.
I just gave you the genie 1 wish option to snap your fingers, and your answer was to just finish the project.
A little bit better than what I have right now.
You're like, actually, can you just like put those boxes over there?
Sarah's like, I gotta move this stack of shirts later. Can that just happen?
I mean, I don't know. Like, there's so many things to do. Like, I haven't even updated my website in like 5 years. Like, I did my website when I was like pregnant with my son, and my first one, and he's almost 6 now. At some point in the past, I took the prices off because I had to change them, and I've never put them back up. Like, there's so many things to do. Like, if I could click my fingers right now and have all the orders that I need done, just like printed like that, I would take that wish, like, just so I could like just clear some headspace to get the other shit done with.
I'm going to apologize because once you started talking about the website, I felt that pain. So I'm going to go back and say, I like your first one where if I could go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow and all the things that were on my like long-term to-do list
in the show
were done.
Oh, yeah.
God, that would feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dream list I have that's a mile long on like all my things. If it was just done and I'm starting fresh tomorrow, that would rule.
That's still one wish.
Still a wish, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there.
It's a good one.
Top 4 favorite movies of all time.
2001: Space Odyssey.
Great pick.
Good one.
Das Boot.
Fuck yes.
Das Boot, real okay.
Amazing submarine movie.
Brutal. Yeah, it's so brutal.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I love submarine movies for some reason. I don't know why. Like Hunt for Red. I was Hunt for Red October for Halloween once.
You were.
I was convinced it was going to be shit. My husband made me watch it. I was like, this is 3 hours of being trapped on a submarine. Like, I am not going to enjoy this. And I was like, shit, that is good. Like,
super good.
It's such a good movie. Yeah, I really like brutal kind of stuff, I guess. I mean, I love like obviously like Lord of the Rings, like the 3 of them, like, you know, in one sitting. That is also amazing. And
See us for this conversation as well.
Spirited Away.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I threw that one in there randomly.
That's a divergence there, but okay.
Das Boot and Spirited Away.
Just on every major top 10 list. There you go. So.
Like Schindler's List and the Emoji
Disney's
Movie.
Encanto. Yeah. Okay. It's an interesting mix you got there. A little happy, a little sad.
All right. Last question. If you were unkillable for a day, what would you do?
Unkillable. Like,
you can't die.
Well, you cannot die.
If I can't die. Oh my God, I don't know. I've never thought about this before. I'm not a very risky person. So like,
yeah, but now you can take all the risk.
You are though, because when you have an idea, you go for it. That's what you said. That's how we started our whole conversation.
You're determined. You're just not
just not risky.
I would probably do something like I'd love to like go to space for the day and back and just know I wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
Like, I think that'd be really cool. Like, I love space, rockets, but like I would just never go. I would just be terrified. I'm terrified of like things being too fast or just like pressures or whatever. Especially since I had kids, it's just kind of awakened some type of like I don't know, something.
Now,
in
would
me
you
where
would you Superman fly up there, or would you like take the time to like find a rocket and all that? Like that's the.
I mean, I'd have to arrange a rocket, I think. Yeah, no, I definitely have to go up in a rocket. Like, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah,
but the cool part if you're unkillable is you could literally like strap yourself
like
to
a bunch
it
of Roman candles
on the outside. You could ride that rocket in space.
Do you know what? The more I talk about this, the more I'm like, I think this is a terrible idea.
She's stressed out. She's like, I don't like this anymore.
I'm feeling
this
itchy.
is scary.
I'm like, I don't want to be strapped to a rocket and be blasted into the fucking atmosphere.
But you don't die. You can come back. There's nothing like all of the things that are scarier have to do with, pain to our bodies. Oh, we didn't say no pain though. We just said no death. See,
this is a stipulation.
Is it going to hurt though? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, are you going to be in pain forever?
The Superman, no way.
Freezing in the outer space.
Well, anyway, Sarah, I really appreciate you for doing this. I'm glad you did it. Do you feel better now? Do you feel as stressed as you were in the beginning? Or are you a little more calm now?
This was fun.
I'm all right. Yeah, no, it's been lovely. It's been lovely chatting. Yeah, I'm a bit less stressed now, I think.
Okay, good.
You're great.
I'm just a stress head.
I was going to ask you about your Pick a Destiny necklace you got going on.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. This is actually it does actually hold pics.
Is it really?
Yeah,
it reminds me of Pick a Destiny from Tenacious D.
My friend Renata Castagna, who's from Taos, New Mexico.
Cool.
She makes this awesome
great place
jewelry, and she's an awesome person. I've got a couple of necklaces from her. And one of them, all made by hand. And there's so many cool people in the world.
I know. And traveling around and getting to see him and coming here to see TC has been great. And he's here. He's here with me on the recording today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah, for doing this. I appreciate you. I'm excited to see where your shop goes and how it grows, and if you can find people to do these things that you want them to do. But I'm just more interested in meeting Mel at this point.
Yeah. Can we have her on too?
Yeah, everybody wants to meet Mel. She's so cool. Well, she is on holiday at the minute.
What if Mel?
What I want is
what if
for
Mel's not real?
That's what I was about to say.
What if this is like
what I want more than anything,
girlfriend who lives in Canada? Yeah, sure you do.
what I want is for her to walk off camera and come back with a mustache on. And she's like,
I'm Mel. Melbourne.